Hi guys, I'm Chris. So you all know my beautiful wife Monica. She's usually the one on these videos giving you guys advice and giving her insight into her life and our life as a family and all that fun stuff. She's much better at this than I am, but she asked me to give my perspective on what it's like to be a spouse of somebody that has a limbic system disorder. So I'm gonna do my best and kind of give you my point of view on what she goes through, what I go through, and kind of how I make it work and how I try and be there for her through all this stuff. So being as you're on Monica's page, you guys, most of you know her story. She's been dealing with PPPD for over 2 years now. I'm not going to go into all the details of it because most of you know, you've seen her videos. She's gotten much better, obviously, since the beginning. We didn't know what was happening, what was going on, and it was frustrating, you know, and it was scary. And you know, once we finally got some answers, it was still frustrating and it was still scary because we didn't know exactly how long it was going to take to get better, what exactly the process was, because it was even a lot of the doctors weren't really sure, and they were it was new to them. But basically, it is getting better, and that's what I kind of want to share with you, is my side of the story and how it's been for me and what I've done to try and help her. And you know, hopefully this can maybe help some other people that have a spouse or a loved one that has a limbic system disorder such as PPPD or you know, multiple chemical sensitivities, things like that. So anyway, I'm just gonna kind of go with what I had. I wrote down a few notes because this is the way I am. So the biggest thing that I've realized over the years that we've been dealing with this is there's a lot of different sides to it. You know, Monica has very good days and she has very bad days. Through that, you know, her emotions run the gamut. You know, she can be very happy and also be very, very down. And you know, it's trying to be supportive, you know, regardless of what she's going through, you know, and I try and stay positive, and it hasn't always been easy. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, because the same time they're dealing with the dizziness, the emotions, the anxiety, all the different thing that goes along with it, you know, you kind of feel a lot of the same stuff too, because you know, it's emotional draining to be the person that has to kind of not necessarily pick up the slack, but in a sense, I mean, to be there for them. I mean, for a while Monica couldn't drive at all, so having to bring her to appointments and make sure the kids got to where they needed to go, and everything was taken care of. And there's times, I mean, I have a very demanding job, so there's days I get home and I'm exhausted, and I don't know what I'm gonna come home to, because I don't know if Monica had a good day or a bad day. You know, so it's preparing yourself to, regardless of what it is that I try and stay positive and be encouraging. You know, even when there's days that you just I don't feel it. You know, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm stressed out. But if I portray that to her, you know, it's just gonna exacerbate what she feels. So it's tough. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a tough journey, but I see the positives, though, how she reacts to my emotions. And if I let things get to me, you know, she feels even worse about herself and about her condition and what she's allowed. And not that she hasn't allowed it, but you know, she feels like it's her fault, and it's not. I mean, it's completely something out of her control. And so I guess to me, it's allowing myself to kind of be understanding, and try to put myself in that position. The other thing I've noticed is the little things. You know, I try not to sweat the small stuff, because I would let things frustrate me, because I'll give you an example. Like, she really never told me that. And there's times where I know that I've said something, but you know, I could start an argument over it. Like, no, I told you, but I think to myself, because I know she has, you know, brain fog, and you know, her memory isn't always the best because of, you know, all the other stuff that her brain is dealing with. So to me, I've learned that it's not worth starting an argument over. So I just kind of shook it off and be like, I'm sorry, babe, I must have forgot to tell you. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, probably sometimes I did forget to tell her, because that's just the way I'm not perfect either. But, you know, even if I did know I said something, then is it worth it? You know, is it worth making her feel less than, you know, worse than she already does because of something minor? I mean, if it didn't have significant consequences, then it is what it is. We move on, we deal with it, and it's another day. You know, and just being encouraging. Because I've noticed with Monica, I mean, and any of you that have a spouse or a loved one, a significant other that's going through this, they want to retreat. You know, they don't want to always go out and push themselves. You know, a lot of days Monica's favorite place is her bedroom, you know, where she can just retreat, cozy up in her bed, watch videos, watch TV shows or whatnot, because it's safe, it's comfortable, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that at times. But I try and encourage her to get out there and do the things she used to do, to go see people, you know, to have coffee dates with her friends, you know, to go to the mall, go shopping. You know, for a while she wouldn't do any of those things because there were too many things. The carpet in the mall set her off. All the commotion, the sounds, the noise of the people, you know, in the mall or in Hobby Lobby, the lights would, you know, be too much for her, and then her eyes couldn't handle it. You know, so there's just all those little things that, you know, to any one of us isn't a big deal. But to somebody with a limbic system disorder, it's just any one of those little things can set you off, much less going into a loud, noisy place where there's all kinds of people and the carpet's a crazy pattern. You know, and I didn't get it right away until she started explaining it to me, and as we've walked through this journey, you know, I start thinking about those things before we go to places, and, you know, how I can help her to remain calm, or to, you know, just say calming things, or just be there, be supportive. You know, sometimes it's just having my hand on her back so she knows I'm there. You know, it's a little things just to be encouraging, and, you know, to get them step by step. You know, sometimes it takes just small steps to get out there and do something. Like tonight, she's not even here. She's actually leading a small group at our church offices tonight, which she used to do all the time, but she wasn't able to for a while because she just couldn't physically, emotionally, mentally, you know, handle that stress and that stimulation to do that. So I mean, that's just a tribute to how far she's come through all this, from in the beginning where she couldn't drive and I had to help her with everything, take her to all her appointments, to now she's out, she's driving almost every day. I mean, she's out in the public, she's doing things, she's leading a small group. You know, she's still one of the worship leaders at our church. I mean, she's out there and doing things, but it takes time. You know, don't force it either. You know, gently, slowly, gradually encourage them to get back out there and keep doing the things that they love to do, because that helps their brain, you know, remember and to retrain itself into what positive and good behaviors are. You know, that they can do those things and that it's not scary, it's not going to trigger something. and there might be times where they go and they do get triggered. And then, I guess that's another thing is, sometimes Monica does have bad days where, she doesn't really want to get out of bed, because if she had a really busy day the day before, her body is, and her brain is trying to recover from that, because it got pushed, and it's part of, just like your muscles. You go into the gym and you work out, the next day your muscles are sore. That's part of retraining your brain is you push it to the point where, it needs a day to recuperate, just like your muscles do. So I let her realize, that those days are okay too. If you need to relax, you need to give your brain time to recuperate and to rejuvenate, regenerate, heal itself, and then you stretch it a little more, and then you give it a little time, then you stretch it a little more. It's just like building up your muscles, And those days I guess I've learned I don't push. It's okay, babe. Just needed a rest day. That's fine. And I try and do as much as I can around the house. I come home and, like I said, it's frustrating too, because there's times where I just want to chill and not do anything, but things have to get done, and that's part of being being that support system, because, and I know that it's not going to last forever. That she's going to heal, because she's going to be healed, because I have faith. I guess I believe in God, and I believe in her, and I believe in myself that, together we're going to get through it. God doesn't bring you into something that he's not going to bring you through. For whatever reason that she's going through this, we just have to trust and believe that, when she comes out the other side, she's going to be stronger. She's going to learn from it, and the things that she learned is going to help her, and it's going to help others. Some of the messages that she shared with me of people that she's, have reached out to her from the videos that she shared, to give them a sense of hope that things can and will get better. To me, some of these, it brings tears to my eyes, knowing that she's able to help people, and be a blessing to them, even in the midst of all the hurt and the pain and the stuff that she's going through. And it's just, I'm proud of her that she's able to step out there and still do that, despite, I see, you guys see the fun, bubbly, beautiful Monica that's, on the videos, but, there's a lot of days where she still struggles, and those are the things that I see that a lot of people don't. Even when she's on church, she's up there, on the worship team or leading worship, and she's a strong, beautiful, wonderful woman, but there's times where she just wants to lay in bed and curl up and cry. Those are the things that I see, and that's where you need to be supportive and just be there for them, because it's part of the, I guess that understanding. I've tried to relate, and put myself in her shoes. I've never been an anxious person or had a lot of anxiety or anything like that, but at points I think God has allowed me to understand and give me empathy to what she's going through. And I can't imagine walking every day with the feeling of anxiety and dizziness and just the brain fog, and it's got to be wearing. And I feel terrible, I guess, when I lose my patience, at circumstances that are out of her control, and they're out of my control. And I guess that's part of my growth that I've learned through this is patience. And I ask God for wisdom to give me the patience and give me wisdom on how I can be a better husband, a better father, a better person, a better leader, and it's taught me a lot over the last couple of years too on unconditional love, because obviously, I love Monica inherently. There's nothing she could do, but through this, I've learned that you have to be patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. I mean, all those things that it says in Corinthians, it's true, because but it's not easy. You have to work at it. You have to teach yourself to be patient, because there's times I could easily lose my temper, but it's not worth it. I mean, she didn't choose this, so why should I choose to make it more difficult? It's a hard road. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anybody that's going through it, I can relate, and I feel for you, but it gets better, it's slowly but surely, just keep helping them and supporting them to do the steps that they need to get better, to help retrain their brain, because a lot of days they won't feel like it. I have to kind of gently coax Monica into, have you done this today? Have you done that today? And a lot of days it's no, I don't feel like it. Well, baby, we really need to do that, because it's going to help you get better. And as I said, just gently coax him and support them into doing these things that, even though they're not going to feel like it, but in the long run, it's the best thing that they can do, because it stretches their brain, and it retrains it, and it gets them strengthened. And that's about the best advice, I guess, that I can give, and just give you guys an insight into what it's like to have a spouse or a significant other, a loved one that is going through that. Be supportive, be loving, be encouraging, and understanding. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine what it'd be like to walk around day after day after day with those feelings, and not having a clear mind, and not being able to do the things that you're used to doing, because I think that's the hardest thing. I mean, I liken it to, I guess, when I have had accidents, when I was broken bones, and not being able to stand up and walk like you used to. That feeling is terrible. I felt worthless. I can't imagine something that affects your brain to that extent, what that would do to your psyche day in and day out. So be there for him. Love him. Protect him. Support him. Encourage him. That's what I got. I hope maybe this helps somebody a little bit. If not, it is what it is. God bless you guys. Have a good night.